Hey, this video is for you if you're an artist, if you accept commissions, and especially if you're on Instagram. I'm sure you've seen all the scams that are so rife on social media at the moment, especially for people accepting commissions and for artists. That's what I'm here to talk about today. I'm also going to talk about some steps that you can take to keep yourself safe and not get scammed. So keep watching to learn how you can protect yourself. So I made a short form video that I posted on Shorts, Instagram and TikTok about common scams and red flags for artists to look out for. And the reel kind of blew up a bit, and I was more than a little overwhelmed by the outpouring of thanks from people in the art community. But I really wanted to expand on the things I spoke about in that, and also give you tips and steps that you can take to keep yourself safe, because there's only so much you can fit in a short video. It's so important for us all as an art community to have each other's backs and help keep each other safe. So please like and share this video to get it out to the people who need to see it the most. I'm going to split this video into parts, which you'll see here, and they will be timestamped so you can skip to the part that you need to see the most. So let's talk about it. So starting with the most common red flags to look out for, mostly these count for Instagram, but these scammers are quickly adapting and moving to other social media like TikTok, Facebook, and even now Discord. So red flag number 1, someone comments on your post asking you to DM them with no other interaction or comments or communication. Now the chances are that this person, or even this bot, is posting that exact same comment on numerous other artist accounts at this exact same moment, hoping that even just a tiny percentage decides to give it a go. Now, DMing them isn't the scam. You can DM them safely, but it is a doorway into a potential scam, and you're not going to get anything good out of it. I tend to leave a comment reply to that, directing them to where I deal with commissions. So for me, it's my Ko-fi. If they then decide to completely ignore that, they're probably not that interested. They usually leave it there. They don't respond, nothing happens. If you feel comfortable doing so, you could also respond to them in a DM, but just be really careful. If you see any other red flags, just don't interact any further, block them. Red flag number 2. I like to check if the person trying to commission me is actually following me on the social media they're contacting me on, or at least if they've ever interacted with any of my posts, liked them, commented on them, anything. Now, this one isn't always a red flag. I had a few people comment that this isn't the same in other countries on my reels, so be aware that this may be different for you, but in my experience, if they're not following you or if they haven't interacted at all, they're probably not actually that interested in paying you to create something, you know? So it's definitely something to keep an eye out for, especially if it's coupled with other red flags. Red flag number 3, if they completely disregard your instructions or directions. So my favourite way to deter scammers is to direct them to my commissions page, which, as I mentioned, is Ko-fi. If they refuse to go there and instead insist that absolutely everything is discussed via Instagram DMs, don't risk it. Instagram DMs is not a secure purchasing method. It is not worth it. They are probably going to try and scam you. The same goes for ignoring your chosen payment methods, but I will cover that in another point because that is a much bigger topic. Red flag number 4. Watch out if they tell you how much they're going to pay without asking your prices first, especially if they are offering far higher than you would usually charge. Often this will be something along the lines of, I'm willing to pay you $300, and they haven't actually asked your prices. This is a scam waiting to happen. They are hoping you will take it because it's an offer you can't refuse. Do not engage. Block them, don't continue that one. It's not going to be a genuine commission. Red flag 5. If they're asking for artwork that is not consistent with what you usually create, so for example, they want a pet portrait but you do not do animal art, you have no animal art on your profile, or they want anime or manga when you work primarily in realism, they probably haven't even looked at your profile. They are not going to actually buy. It's a scam. Red flag number 6. This one ties back to a previous one, but if they insist on using a payment method that you do not offer, especially if they insist on using a payment app like any of these, and absolutely never accept check or e-check, ever. But as for the payment apps, I will go more in depth in that a little further into the video, so keep watching for that. And PayPal is not as safe as you think it is either. Number 7, never, ever, never make any form of payment to the person wanting to commission you. Now, this may sound really strange. You're thinking, why would I send them money if they're going to be paying me? It's a very common scam in many different forms. For the most part, it will involve the buyer having accidentally sent you too much money and then asking you, often accompanied with a very strong guilt trip, to send back the difference. Now, be aware that this money has not been sent. They will show you screenshots, you'll get emails, all sorts, saying this money has come through, but it will not actually ever come through. So if you do go ahead and send back the difference, it's coming straight out of your pocket and you will not get it back. Never send money to the commissioner. And the last major red flag to look out for is be very wary if they ever ask for any personal details from you, especially your full name, your email address, your phone number. Scammers can use this information to send you fake emails and fake contact that look very convincingly like they are from your bank or from PayPal or your whatever other payment method you may be using. So if you hand over any of that information, be very alert for red flags. If you get any official looking emails, check them. I will leave a link in the description below for what to look out for in emails to make sure they're genuine. So now that I've given you an overview of the most common red flags, and please do leave a comment below if you know of one that I haven't mentioned so we can help the whole art community and know what to look out for. I want to go on to talk about known scams that I and other artists have seen and even fallen for. Some of the scams and the screenshots that I'm going to show you have been brought to my attention by a wonderful Discord server called the Imperfect Artists Society, set up by the wonderful Kirsty Paint. I'll pop an invite to that Discord server in the description if you are interested in joining a wonderful, super supportive online space for artists, which is of course free. So the first scam is what I like to call "don't make my child sad" scam, and they like to play on your emotions. This one will commonly start with someone DMing you, asking you to draw a picture of their son or their daughter, often with a pet or in a popular kids cartoon costume. I've seen a couple for Catboy and for Spider-Man. Sometimes they'll tell you that it's their child's birthday or that their child loves your art and they really want a piece. This scam often includes a lot of additional information to try and make themselves sound more like they are real people and genuinely interested. Things like, this costume is from a character in her favourite TV show, or he loves playing with his dog in the garden. Things to convince you that they are a real person and that you will be making their child sad if you refuse this. They will almost always start the conversation by telling you that they are willing to pay $200 or £300 without checking your prices first. And if you go on any further, they will go on to say that they will be paying from their child's saving account and that they can only use check or e-check to do so. This is always a scam. If you see someone messaging you this, it is a scam. If you continue on the conversation and keep going, they will likely end up telling you that for some reason they have to send you far more than they were going to and that you need to send some back. And they'll back this up with a very heavy guilt trip and begin claiming that you are a scammer. Just block them. Do not engage. Don't go any further. The next common one, and you've probably already seen it commented on your posts or on friends' posts or other artists, and I would like to call it the NFT bro. Usually it's in the form of comment on your post or a DM, and it will say something along the lines of, "Hello mate, sorry for the random approach, but I want to buy a collection of your artworks as NFTs. Please DM if interested." Now, if you don't already know how harmful NFTs are for the environment, I will pop a link in the description so you can learn about that. But back to the point, this is a scam. Don't even give them the time of day. It's very easy to spot. Just block them, report them, don't engage. Another common scam, which I have already touched on a couple of times in this video, and it comes in many forms, are the instances in which they will try to get you to send them money. And there are several different ways for them to do this, and some of them can be very convincing and easy to fall for, so I just want you to know what you need to look out for. So if they're paying by PayPal, they will often ask you for an email address and your full name, and you'll give it to them because that's how PayPal works, isn't it? Well, with that information, they can send you fake emails that look like they're from PayPal. So say they're paying you £200 for a piece of art. They might say they had to send you extra to upgrade your personal account to a business account. Now, this isn't something you have to do. You can have a business account, it's free. There's no upgrade required. But you'll receive an email that looks very much like it's from PayPal, and it'll say you have to send some money back before you have access to the funds. This is 100% a scam. Do not send the money back. The email is not real. The money has not been sent to you. End it there. Don't go any further. Number 2, they will insist on paying by check or e-check. Now, as I've mentioned before, don't accept that. They're not really used these days anyway. They'll tell you that they have a minimum limit for check payments, which again, I don't think exists, and if it does, it's not going to be the $900 they're going to claim it as. But they'll write out the check for $900 and they will ask you to send them back the difference. And they'll lay it on thick with the guilt. If you continue to refuse to send this non-existent money back to them, they may begin to threaten you or call you a scammer. They will play on your emotions and how you feel and you're wanting to be a genuine person. They will play on that. They will manipulate you. Don't fall for it. Number 3, this one one is about payment apps that I mentioned earlier. Cash App, Zelle, Skrill. I have no experience of those ones. I don't think they're quite as prevalent in the UK as they are in the US, but I think they're important to mention anyway. And PayPal is also one to look out for, and I know we all think PayPal is a safe method. It is not always, and you need to be very careful with how you use it. Most of the apps allow chargebacks as part of their buyer protection, and that's great as a buyer. It means that they can claim that they never received the goods, and then as a result they get their money back, and that comes out of your pocket after they've received it. So along with this, make sure you keep all communication. If you post anything physically, keep your proof of posting, so that if this does happen to you, you have something to fight back with. Another thing to watch out for is that people can gain access to your account by using your email to log in and trying to change the password. They'll ask you for the code you were sent to prove you're a real person. Never give this code out. It is your two-factor authentication code. If you give them that, they will get access to your account and they'll change all the passwords and you won't get back into it. If you don't have two-factor authentication on, especially on payment apps, be sure to do that. It is an extra level of security that is so important these days. And the last very common scam is less to do with commissions and more to do with promotion. And I'm sure you've already seen the comments that say DM it on or promote it on. They're also scams. They will try to get you to pay money to post your work on their page. It may look like they have a lot of followers, but most, if not all of those, are just bots. You won't get any genuine interaction with them. Sam Does Arts made a great video about these accounts, so I will link it down in the description below if you want to look more into that. So I've talked about the red flags that you need to look out for and known scams that you should be aware of, and you're probably thinking, well, what do I do about this? I can look out for them, but is there any way I can actually protect myself? And yes, there is. And that's what I want to talk about in this section of the video. I want to prepare you as best I can to avoid falling victim to any of these. So step one, and I would say it's the most important, and that is to trust your instinct. If it feels off, and if you don't feel 100% comfortable with the way the interaction is going, you're probably right. Just stop the interaction there. So many times I've gone into something that felt really genuine and I've kept going, and there have been those niggling thoughts in the back of my mind where I'm thinking, something's not right, something doesn't feel right, and even though I'm not seeing anything specifically wrong, I know. Step two, a more practical step that you can take, and I'll walk you through, is to block certain keywords from your comments on Instagram. Now this won't keep everyone away, but it will definitely help to keep some of those spammy comments off of your profile. So open up Instagram, go to your profile and tap the three lines in the top right corner, open settings and privacy and scroll down and tap hidden words. Then go to manage custom words and phrases, and then you'll want to add words that commonly pop up in these spam comments but you won't get on normal comments. So I've added promote, promoted on, promote this, NFT, send pic on, and send pics on, because they're the most common things I've seen in those spammy comments. Another step you can take if you're doing commissions is to always take at least a 50% deposit before starting, and do not start until that money is in your bank account or in your hand. This should act as a deterrent for anyone who wasn't going to pay you in the first place, and this includes time wasters, and it's generally good practice. Something else you can do, and this isn't 100% reliable, it doesn't work every time, but it's something you can use as a tool. If the interaction feels a little bit off and they send you reference photos, you can reverse image search those reference photos to see if they are stock images or if they're stolen from the internet. So I'll walk you through doing that on both your phone and PC. I prefer PC, it just is easier, but you can do it on both. So on your phone, on your browser, go to Google Images, tap on the camera icon, select the image you want to reverse search. What you're looking for is visual matches. And here you'll be able to see any other places that this image is found. On your PC it's a similar process, I find it a little smoother though. So go to Google Images in your browser, click the camera icon, drag the image from File Explorer, and look again for visual matches, and you can see here that this is a stock image and has been used many times. But if it comes up, it's probably a stock image. They probably just nicked it from the internet. Like, it doesn't always work because sometimes they will use actual photos, family members and things that are their photos, but it is an easy step you can take. Another way you can protect yourself is that if you receive any emails that look as though they're from your bank or from PayPal, before you click on them, check your banking app or your payment app first, and don't go to it through a link in the email, just go separately to the app, log in and see if there's any activity. If there is no activity showing up, then it's probably a scam email and you can safely just ignore it. If your bank has a phishing protection email address, you can forward it onto them, and that will help them to increase security in the future. A tip for PayPal: if you do choose to accept payment through PayPal, it is generally safer to take the client's email address and send them an invoice. That way you are protected by the seller protection program. that PayPal offers. Also, as mentioned earlier, screenshot all communication as evidence in case of a chargeback or a dispute. And screenshots are a little bit better than keeping the actual emails because they may change their usernames or photos and things. One of the ways, and I've already mentioned it, that I protect myself from scammers is that I process all my sales and all my commissions through Ko-fi. You can also use your own website, you could use Etsy, or even just list your prices on card. Once you've done that, if someone inquires, you can direct them straight there to see your prices or to see what you offer. And generally, if they ignore you completely and don't even look, it's a red flag. And you can know you can safely ignore this interaction without missing out on a potential commission. Because I think that's what we all hate. We don't want to turn down what might be a real commission. So if you know of any other things to look out for or any steps that you can take to keep yourself safe, because I know there's no way I've covered everything here, there's got to be more, please leave a comment down below and just help the art community. Just a little side note, it is my birthday next week. I will be 30. It would be so special if you could support me on Ko-fi and help me to upgrade my mic for my YouTube videos, or even just buy yourself some cute art over there because I do have some. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, and if you want to see more videos like this or more art videos, go ahead and subscribe. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope I helped in some way. Stay safe out there.